For this edition of On the Hill, we are going to define the great state of Arkansas through one iconic destination.
The whole state?
The whole state.
With one destination?
One destination.
I don't see that happening. I just feel like the state's too big and that it's going to be too difficult to do.
It's actually pretty easy, Jessica. I have a great idea. I think we should go to...
Wait. Don't tell us. I think that we should all surprise each other, take each other to different places, and show each other around.
You guys, I have the greatest idea. We go to all the places this weekend. Road trip.
Yay.
Road trip.
Yay.
Perfect.
Road
Nice.
trip.
Good job. Let's go do a road trip.
Road trip. Road trip. Road trip.
That's sweet. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go home, do some research, find one spot that defines the great state of Arkansas, and this weekend, road trip.
When the waves come, will I be strong enough to fight back the ocean? The lights shine down on me, baby. Will I open my eyes, or will I refuse to see? My destiny is standing right there. Yes, she is. That's why I'm asking for just a little bit of help now. Someone please, a little help now. I can't breathe, a little help now. Anything, baby, that's all I need. All I need. Yes, it is, baby. If I stray from the beaten path that I know the way.
Guys, we're here at Old Main, and this is what I think is one of the most iconic destinations of Northwest Arkansas. But I don't really know a lot about the actual building Old Main, so I actually booked us a tour, and we're gonna go meet the tour guide, and he will actually tell us more about it.
Sarah. Joe. Nice to meet you. Joe. As you can see down here on the ground is Senior Walk, over 5 miles on Senior Walk, and then over, I think, right around over 200,000 names on Senior Walk. They've got it secured from here to 2030, and then from there, they're gonna have to start building new sidewalks, I guess. So we're gonna head up, and if you guys have any questions, let me know. So this is Old Main. It is the oldest building on campus. It hasn't been always called Old Main. It was once University Hall. If you were to get if you guys took a look back there, you could have seen that the South Tower is smaller than the North Tower. And so originally, or what the legend has it, is that the Yankees came in and built this, and so it was right after the Civil War, and so they built the North Tower to kind of say, hey, here's it to you, the South, and make sure that you always knew that the North was better than the South. You guys can hear kind of on the ground as you walk, it's a really, really old building. It's been condemned a couple of times. Back in '81, it was deemed unsuitable to have anybody in here, and so they closed it down for several years. For 4 years, they had no one in it. It was a huge liability to the university, and they said, hey, no one can go in this building. And finally, in 1985, they decided, hey, we're gonna raise a whole bunch of money and make sure that this university has Old Main, its oldest building, its flagship. It is the flagship of the state of Arkansas, and so we're gonna walk down here, and you guys can take a look at some of the past presidents of the university. So here are all the past presidents, and most recent, and we'll see a couple of the others as we make our way down to Givels Auditorium, one of the many auditoriums on campus, but this one is specific to Old Main. Yeah, so this is Givels Auditorium. There is a class right now, and so you guys can peek in and not disturb them, and I won't be here if you guys do. So that'll be that, and then we'll head up the elevator and head over to the clock tower. You guys can see this is the clock tower. This is what everything turns. It ends up turning upstairs, and so you guys can take a look at that. So this is I think, the backside of Old Main, but I want to kind of bring attention to Mr. Fulbright. It said that if you go in to Old Main, take a test beforehand, if you rub his foot, it's good luck. So I've always kind of made it a practice to do so. But Mr. Fulbright, he was one of our presidents of the university. He's also a senator, and so a lot of the reason why we have so many international students and are able to have a foreign exchange program here at the University of Arkansas is because of his work in the Senate and the legislation that he passed. And so this kind of wraps up Old Main. Does anybody have any questions about anything that you guys are just curious about?
I asked all my questions.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks, Mason. Well, we just got done touring Old Main, and I think we learned a lot. But I would say that Old Main is definitely one of the most iconic buildings here in Northwest Arkansas and in Fayetteville. So there's that. I love Old Main. But enough about Old Main. Let's go to the next destination.
Trying to do the best I can to make things right. Down the river I go, down, down, way far down the river I go, on my own.
Hi guys, we just rolled into Petit State Park. It's a place that's filled with Native American and French history, and I think it signifies what Arkansas really is because it's filled with natural beauty. We're going to go take a look at some waterfalls and some natural land bridges, and we're going to check out some pretty good legends. So let's go.
Petit Mountain was named from French people. The name Petit is French. It started showing up on records and old documents in the early 1800s as Petit.
I'm leaving my worries and doubts behind. I can't be who I am without peace of mind. Forgiving myself for my mistakes, and finding the strength to carry my way.
In 1819, a British explorer came through and he called it Petit. So it's been called that a long time.
You found me down where you don't understand. What you're looking at's not a hopeless man. Too proud to ask for help when I'm in need. It doesn't mean I can't carry me.
There are legends about how it got to be called Petit. There's several of them. There's a really famous one about a young woman who had a fiancé who was a French noble and an explorer. She wanted to accompany him to the New World, and he would have none of that. It was too dangerous and was unheard of. So she disguised herself as a cabin boy aboard his ship and followed him. Unbeknownst to him, she kept her identity secret in this legend, and her nickname was Petit because she was small, of course. And she got ill, and the ship's doctor was called and discovered that this wasn't really a cabin boy, it was a cabin girl. and the noble was notified and found out then. And according to the story, she begged for his forgiveness and it was okay. She died on the eastern end of the mountain called Stout's Point, and her last request, once she was sick and knew she was dying, was to be buried there. Indians and other people carried her up the mountain and buried her on the mountain, and it was named after her. So there's a monument there, there's a gravesite there. It's called Petit Mountain from that point, according to that legend.
Sarah Petit was awesome. That's a really cool icon. I really enjoyed it, but I think my place will be a lot better. It's called White Rock, and we're headed there now.
No matter where we are, we're presented with choices. For instance, should he wash his hands? At the time, this choice may seem small.
What's up?
But in reality, it can have a massive impact. Save the world. Wash your hands.
White Rock was developed by the CCC during the Great Depression. But let me tell you, this place is an icon. The views, the vistas, the geography, this place is gorgeous. And wait till you see the lodges.
For nearly a quarter of a century, Paula White has lived on top of White Rock, serving as the private concessionaire.
My goal was to be here at least 20 years. Well, now I've been here 23. And people ask me that all the time, when are you going to retire? And my question is, where do you go live after living here for 23 years? You see the same people maybe once or twice a year, every year, and you really look forward to that. And they keep in touch with you all through the year. Her name was Della Mosby, and she passed away at age 103. And her last visit that she actually made it here, she was 101. And her family is still coming. So her great-great-grandchildren are coming. It is one of the few places that still have got the old CCC, it's called the Civilian Conservation Corps cabins that were built back in the Depression in the 30s. It was a major undertaking. I mean, all this rock work, all the lumber, everything was done from natural tree, the wood, the rock, everything from this area. And it was all done with sheer muscle and manpower. And these cabins were built by just starving young men that were working to save their families.
Areas of great scenic beauty have been made available to thousands of visitors through the development of systems of roads in national and state parks and at other centers of attraction for tourists. Many of these vacation spots were completely inaccessible before the Assistant to the Works program made road construction possible.
There's very few of these places left. I mean, there were lots of these parks built around the country, but a lot of them have fallen in bad repair. Between the Forest Service and the Friends of White Rock and myself and the people that volunteer their time, hopefully it'll be here, 100 years from now. It'll still be here, I'm hoping. just like it is. I hope it never changes. Asking why I haven't left yet, that's another part of it. You know, how do you leave that? That's going to be that's probably going to be the hardest part of leaving, is knowing that there's some of these people I will probably never see again. So therefore, I will probably stay here till I just can't do it anymore.
Leaving White Rock along their dirt roads past the lodges built over 70 years ago, it's easy to see why this place is an icon of Arkansas. Natural beauty in the natural state, an isolated site in the scenic Ozark Mountains, White Rock is the picturesque location everyone seeks but few find and fully appreciate.
White Rock has been a blast. It's definitely an icon of Arkansas. We learned a lot about the history and how it really isn't about the place, but the people who come to White Rock year after year that really make this an icon of Arkansas. But Christy, you're up next. Let's see where you're taking us. Let's go.
The only thing keeping me sane is waking up in your arms. Boss man, I'm breathing down my neck. See you late again, boy, gonna cut your check. What he don't understand, but I'll always...
Mount Sequoia is a place where you truly are able to experience the balance between human beings and nature. It incorporates everything that is Arkansas, the natural state, you know, with all the beauty and everything. People in their 80s come back here and they met here. They were engaged at the cross. They're still coming back, you know, to sort of revisit and re-experience Mount Sequoia. At the same time, we have young people who come in and meet here. We have people come just about every night, especially on clear nights, you know, to watch the sunset. As the sun goes down, it's like a play on color. It's almost like you're looking through a prism at times, because the sky, you know, depending on the clouds that day, will take on different shades, but all of them seem to be vibrant. And just when you get to the point where you think, okay, it's done, it's like the lights of Fayetteville just pop up. And it's like all of a sudden now there's this whole new dance going on. And it's like this dance of lights. The depth and breadth of Fayetteville and Mount Sequoia, it's not just in nature, it's in the very culture and the environment. Come to the mountain and enjoy it. Make it a part of your life, because it's really a nice place to be. This is everybody's mountain.
No matter where we are, we're presented with choices. For instance, should he wash his hands? At the time, this choice may seem small.
What's up?
But in reality, it can have a massive impact. Save the world. Wash your hands.
Meet up with us tomorrow in Eureka Springs.
God,
that's so sad.
Oh, he's gonna miss out.
Okay. Alright, well, we'll see you tomorrow. Okay, bye. I don't know if rain gardens now.
Eureka has always been a destination since the 1880s. It's a very tiny town. It is an historic town that is very well preserved. We have been on the National Register of Historic Places since 1970. Eureka is just a microcosm of a modern city. It's a very eclectic community, and it always has been, simply because it is a place where individual expression is encouraged. We have a very diverse population. We have a very large gay population. And it's just a community where everybody can feel safe, can feel welcome, and they can do what they want to do. This is a good hometown. People care about each other here, and we take care of each other here. There are still people in town who do not lock their doors. You don't have to lock your car when you get out at the grocery store. And that's very attractive to a lot of people these days. No matter what your style of life is, you can find a group of people in this community that are comparable. Everybody that comes here learns about Eureka Springs history. It just kind of seeps into you, whether it's deliberate or not. You know, and it's fun to know the history of this town, because we're living in a society now that doesn't think much about its history.
This was a great spot.
It has been a nice community, and I think it will continue to be a nice community.
On the hard, yeah, four corners plan, standing by
I tell people that Eureka Springs affects visitors two ways. Some visitors can come and just drive through town and see the shops and go on about their business. And some of us, like me, the first time that we were here, Eureka captured our hearts and didn't let go.
No matter where we are, we're presented with choices. For instance, should he wash his hands? At the time, this choice may seem small.
What's up?
But in reality, it can have a massive impact. Save the world. Wash your hands.
So now that we've been all across the great state of Arkansas, we have learned quite a few things. We've got a whole lot of adventure under our belts. What did you learn about Petit?
Well, I think that Petit was a good way to describe what Arkansas is because it's just got a lot of history and it's a great way to spend a whole entire day. You've got a lot of things to do, so I'm really glad I chose it.
Yeah, Petit was awesome. But I loved Mount Sequoia because you can see the whole city of Fayetteville and you get the good sunset and it's just a nice place to hang out.
Old Main is the best, most iconic place in Arkansas. It is the mother of mothers. It is the flagship of Arkansas, which is why I brought you all there. But I think people see it and they think that Arkansas, they think of Arkansas when they see.
Yeah, I enjoyed Old Main, but I think Eureka Springs was great because people from all backgrounds can come there, have a great time, just like we did on our trip.
Eureka Springs was a sweet town. I really did have a good time there. You definitely meet some interesting characters. Arkansas is the natural state. It is known for the Ozark Mountains, and so White Rock being a place where you can go camping, hiking, and just enjoy the outdoors really made it an icon for me. But we all did a fantastic job. Arkansas is clearly a wonderful state. It's got many more icons and hidden gems throughout the region, and yeah, we had a good time. But for the next On the Hill, we are going to be exploring the Fayetteville Farmers Market, so look forward to that.
And now you're off on vacation, something you try to reach. Like so many things, my dreams failed and my life's become a little more hectic. But I think I know where I am now that I've been turned around. I'm seeing things clear, got my head out the clouds.
Surprise
Right
us!
now I wanna walk around,
Surprise us!
find out where I am. Yes, I wanna walk